WAGMI's first live stream. Let's talk VEVE, cryptos, and NFTs.
Yo, what's up, YouTube?
What's up, WAGMI fam?
This is A5 Crypto here on our
CryptoAddict
first
here.
live stream here.
Sir, first live stream.
So yeah, hopefully you guys are tuned in to kind of chat with us on what's going on in the VEVE market. It's going crazy right now.
Yep, for sure. It's our first one, so yeah, we're just seeing what's going on here. Just gonna chit chat and see where this goes.
Yeah, for sure. So what do you think? I mean, what do you think is causing all of this move in the VEVE markets, man?
Yeah, man, the market's been booming. Everything's been pumping up. It's been pretty crazy. As far as what's causing it, man, I think it's just more people coming into the app. Like, we're getting more people coming into the app, so there's more people having eyes on what's in the market. And a lot of the stuff that catches people's attention is like the Batmans and like all of the what we like to call the blue chips or the grail pieces, and that's a lot of what people are starting to buy into, really characters that they love, and you start to see that. So as more people come in, there's more money in the market. I think we can continue to expect prices to continue to go up.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
that's really good.
Just looking at these prices, like, it made me think about how maybe a couple months ago I was like, dang, I should have bought in, or I should have stocked up more on some of these blue chips collectibles. And we've been talking about it. We've been talking about it for like probably ever since we started our channel, so. And man, it's crazy to see how much is kind of pumping at this moment.
Yeah, that's the crypto world, man. Everything moves so quick that, I mean, it makes stocks and stuff look so slow. It's like, Why did I ever do that?
Well, I mean, at this point, even though it is somewhat crypto, it's kind of independent in its own way, if we notice that how things are kind of retracing with like Bitcoin and like Ethereum, things are kind of bloody right now in all other markets, but with the VEVE market, we noticed that things are kind of stabilizing and like slowly climbing up, which is very exciting to see for us who have held onto our VEVE collectibles from day one since we got into the market,
Yeah, let's actually look at the market here. See if I could pull up. There we go.
Yeah, because we see right now kind of Bitcoin's a little bit it's kind of right at a good area of support where people can kind of dollar cost average in, I suppose. I mean, we're technically at a 40% ish type discount from the all-time high. If it's, I think all-time high was what, almost 69,000, I suppose, or 68.5, I believe.
If everything's dumping. If we look at the 7-day for just about everything in the top 10 or whatnot, these are massive dips, and it's crazy that the market is taking this type of dip.
Yeah.
But the VEVE NFTs have been doing the exact opposite. And I think that is really because the people using the VEVE apps, the people that came into VEVE, they're not linked or tied to crypto at all. Like, a lot of them are like, what is Bitcoin? Like, they don't realize like about the blockchain or anything. It's just the ease of use just to enter the app. David, you and them have talked about it a lot, about how they don't want to have like the entry level to be really hard. Like a lot of people want the KYC to kind of prevent bots and stuff, but
Yeah, yeah.
that's going to defer a lot of people from actually coming into the app and using the app. A lot of people are using it now because it's simple to use. You download the app, you buy
Yeah.
some gems with your card, and then you buy some collectibles. That's how easy it is to use, and that's why a lot of people come in and just use it. And it's completely opposite, not related or linked at all to like Bitcoin or Ethereum or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think the crypto market affects these NFTs at all. It's just strictly a bunch of people coming in and they want collectibles. They're gonna buy it for whatever price it's at.
Yeah, it's kind of exciting to see because now you have an idea of like, okay, there are a good majority of people who are in this market are truly collectors, right? I mean, they're not trying to come in for like a quick flip and then cash out whatever. Because technically, I mean, due to the fact that
We have flippers, yeah.
yeah, we have flippers, yes, but then they're not still technically able to cash out of their gems due to the MTL is not fully implemented at this moment. But in a way, I feel like that's kind of a good thing, because it keeps the money inside the VV market, and then therefore allowing people to kind of buy and then hold on to like those blue chips, and then which keeps the stabilization of those prices.
So
So I
with that, do you think that since it's a closed market right now, do you think that's why the prices are going high in your eyes? And that's
I
why the
think that
prices haven't dumped?
I think that it just shows how it keeps the money in there, and then people who have taken profits on certain flips, they're not technically they're not able obviously to cash out, so they'll still rotate back into other dips and stuff like that, or other collectibles that are undervalued, which basically the rotation of money into other assets, which is why you see certain trends in like different brands are pumping. So that's kind of my my thought and my theory in this whole. You can tell like there's certain trends pumping at a certain particular time.
So you think
I
it's
don't know if
all
you noticed
money
that.
within
Yeah.
the same
Oh yeah, for
ecosystem?
sure. All money within the same system, as well as new users coming in, and they're noticing that, oh, these prices are so high, and so they're, it's that same concept. Like people always want to buy high, and then therefore raising the floors of all these blue chip collectibles, which is a good thing. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying like that's why we haven't seen like a huge correction in this VV market, unless you have you?
Really, the corrections are pretty minimal. I mean, the only time you see any type of, I'd say, sell off
Yeah,
is when there's a big drop coming up, and that is because it is still a closed market and everyone's
Yeah.
still almost recycling gems. And it's
Yeah.
either you throw money back into the ego, like more money into the system, or you're recycling your gems. And
yeah.
a lot of people
yeah.
are just recycling their gems. And in that case, when something big comes, like the whole Disney drop,
Oh yeah.
people are going to sell some of their grail pieces to try to get these, new big drops. And because everyone's chasing the next big thing,
Yeah.
and
yeah,
wanting
yeah.
to chase the next big thing, you're selling off some things that are big. You may not
Sure.
realize you have a really special piece because you're selling it off trying to catch the next piece. And
Yeah.
I mean, that could be a mistake at the same time, but yeah, I could see that being something that's hindering maybe a lot or mass growth of one, and also stopping some from just dumping as well. But
Yeah.
I mean, overall, I don't necessarily think that this closed market and no MTL or anything is really what's preventing a dump. Kind of like how Top Shots really took a dump. Like I don't think VV's in the same,
Category.
I'd say, category. Yeah, because really they're collectibles at the end of the day, and people love to collect things, And
yeah,
I think the IPs and these collectibles, I mean, they have a place that, like, they're not necessarily something that you would just dump off after you collect a bunch just because you feel like the market's going to crash or something. But these are collectibles, and there's more uses for them in the future. So I think that's I don't think just the MTL thing is preventing it. I think that when MTL opens and they're integrated with, like Immutable X, or just, able to trade on a lot of these Ethereum marketplaces,
Yeah.
I think the prices are actually going to go up rather than go down. So yeah, I think
Oh
the
yeah, for
opposite is
sure.
going to take place there.
Yeah, I mean, like when people come in from the crypto markets, definitely more money will come in, and they're gonna see these. Everything's gonna be priced. It's a psychological thing that we talked about in our earlier videos, where it's a psychological thing when you see a lower number, like say for example, like something going for less than an ETH. It's just that psychological number is like, oh, this is less than an ETH. Yeah, let me throw money. But technically, when we convert point something of an ETH to dollars, it's almost like a couple of grand or so, as opposed to like looking into value of gems. It looks more so from a psychological standpoint, versus people who come in with ETH, with their ETH bags. They're gonna buy up all these floors of these VV collectibles because they're gonna be priced in for like point something of an ETH, maybe 2 or 3 ETHs, and they're just gonna look at that number and be like, oh yeah, this is nothing. I can easily throw in my money, throw in a couple of ETH in this. I mean, right now, if you look at what Todd is like, what at 8K right now?
Yeah, I think Todd's already up to 8.
Yeah,
Check him out.
So technically, if you think about it, someone with like 3 ETH could easily just buy possibly two Todds, I suppose, or four ETH at least. They could buy 2 Todds versus paying. If you look at it from like, 2 Todds is 16,000 or whatever, or 12,000 or something.
Yeah.
So
Todd's sitting at 8.
Yeah. So it's that So technically, it would be like what, 4 ETH, I suppose. 4 or 4.5 or 5 ETH, I suppose. But anyways, that psychological number is gonna be. That's what's gonna raise these floors, because when we transfer over to the Ethereum network or the layer 2, that psychological number is gonna be a big role, because people will see, like, people are just gonna throw their money at these because they're so undervalued in regards to crypto. That's just kind of my theory, because I mean that's just how it plays out in this whole market. And that's how, like, these NFTs, like big Bored Apes or Cyberpunks, this is why, like, they're so way valued in regards of US dollars. But when we convert them to ETH, they're probably like what, 40, 50 or almost 100 ETH, So I don't know, man.
Hey, we have All Chat Gaming here. What he gets to say.
What's up? Who we got here? All Chat Gaming. What's up, man? How you doing?
I think the general consensus now is MTL is for normies. Hello, K.
Hey, I'm a normie. I'm a normie.
NFTs only makes more sense because then you can swap to whatever cryptocurrency or NFT project you want. Yeah, it does make sense. So if you look on like Immutable X, the platform we're moving to, they actually have a drop down where you can select the currency that you actually want to pay in or list in. They have like GODS or GOG, or they have their IMX token or Ethereum or USDC. Like, you can actually select the currency you want to list in. And
yeah,
as far as utility uses, I really think that OMI is going to be one that's listed there. So NFTs to OMI, I think, is not far away. I think once you get to Immutable X and they add their token to the Immutable X platform, you'll already be able to sell your NFTs to OMI on Immutable X. And I think that makes perfect sense too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to see the potential, right? Like, when we fully transition over to the layer 2 and our people who are able in the crypto space are able to purchase these VV, I'm excited to see what's going to happen. And we're already seeing this pump in the VV app, So I don't know.
Yeah. So So today I was out and I was following Joker. I was happy because I was for the longest time I was saying Joker is so undervalued. Like he needs to get
Oh
over
man,
1K.
big time.
So
Yeah,
I was just happy watched him finally break that plateau and break past 1K. I was like, finally
yeah.
he's above 1K. I mean, he deserved to be above 1K for like the longest time. So that was great to see.
Oh, for sure.
I kept showing
Yeah,
my fiance the updates on his score. I was like, yep, he's moving up like super quick.
yeah, man. Joker. I slept on him too, man. Like I hesitated when he was around 600. Um, I should have pulled the trigger. I ended up buying some other things, to be honest. But I, I knew it. I knew I should have bought one of those just to kind of stock up on him. Another one I feel like this super undervalued is Wonder Woman. You know, I don't know what she's going for right now, but last time I checked, she's like running around maybe about 500 or so. But she's definitely could definitely hit the 1K in my opinion if we notice how Joker and all these other like Batman and DC comic book characters are pumping. I don't know. What do you think about Wonder Woman?
Yeah, so I think Wonder Woman, I think she's really gonna follow a similar path to Superman. Superman's been hanging around for a bit,
Yeah,
and now he's up to what 3K, and I think
yeah.
Woman's gonna be like following a similar path to Superman. So
Well,
a ton of potential there still.
there is potential, but part of me also is hesitant because like the way I guess it is the way that the collectible is designed, right? Like I feel like it's a little too cartoonish for me, you know. And I'm always been a believer, like you know, if it doesn't look good to you, you know, then why buy it, right? Like as a collector, you know, you want to buy things that look aesthetically pleasing to your own eyes, you know, because it's subjective in a way, right? So that's why I feel like Wonder Woman is, yes, I could see her definitely going up higher, but for me as a wanting to collect her and hold on to her, like I really wish that she was somewhat created in a way that was more realistic, like Superman. Wouldn't you agree? Or no?
That I mean that really varies. That's the same argument that went on with Steve Rogers being a Mighty as a first appearance.
Exactly,
But
yeah. You know? Yeah. I
yeah,
feel
for
like
sure.
Steve
But
Rogers,
really,
yeah.
like just I mean he's not like as stoic as the actual like how Superman is, but being that first appearance is always gonna hold value. So I mean, as a collector,
Hmm.
having a first appearance tag is something you seek as well. And I think
Yeah.
that's why, I mean, just that alone is going to boost value of like a Wonder Woman or the Mighty Steve Rogers, just because
Yeah.
it's a first appearance. There's never going to be another first appearance. Like if there's another Wonder Woman that, she may look badass, right?
Yeah,
But at the
yeah.
same time, they can release another one following that looks even better. Like what makes that second one now more valuable than the third one that's released or the fourth one if you're just
Hmm.
going off of what looks good. So I think
That
long
I mean,
term
that's
overall,
just yeah,
the
that's
FA
just
tag
me,
is what's
yeah.
going to play out.
Yeah, I totally get it. Like the FA tag does matter, you know, and the mint and the rarity, etc. But artwork wise, man, like that's just been for me. Like I don't know. So we got a comment here. It says DC artist NFTs for sure look way better than Marvel Mighties. Totally agree, brother. Yeah, totally agree.
For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, they like for sure they look a lot better, which I mean that's the thing that sucks is that it's kind of like going to Deadpool. It's like why do you throw out
that
a
sweater,
FA
right?
Deadpool with the
With the
sweater,
ugly
But
sweater, or like having him dance in a certain way. I don't know.
yeah,
I just thought it was weird.
the community has had great ideas about it though. They talked about, well, what are the chances that you can potentially burn the holiday Deadpool and get him without the sweater, or have these as accessories? Like there's a lot of interesting things that can come from it.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's interesting. It's really interesting to see which ones they choose to have that FA tag. I
yeah,
mean, I think they have a plan for it. I think they really have their timeline really planned out to where there is a reason why they're dropping these in that particular order. So I
Yeah.
mean, Mighties or not, there may be something coming with the Mighties. I know people are thinking some type of Marvel Mighties game, but I think there is something in the works for it, which is why I don't think these FA tags are just thrown out to any for any random collectible just because, you know, like if it doesn't look right, I think it has some value in some way that they may have in store in the future.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of something we just have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait to see how it all kind of unravels and stuff. But let's go on to a different topic. I want to address how I've been talking about in the past weeks that comic books are being slept on tremendously. Comic books, man. Like, if you think about it, look at how much the Marvel One Secret Rare is worth at this moment.
That, yeah, when I saw it today, it was up to about 70K.
70
right?
freaking K, man. For a digital comic book, right? Like,
Yeah. Okay, so the floor now is at 67K.
67K, you know? That is crazy.
That's insane.
That's crazy. And even the common ones are super undervalued. You know, right now the common one for the Marvel One comic book still undervalued in my opinion. $300. Last week it was like running under
318.
Right now it's 318. A couple of weeks ago or around Christmas it was under 200, you know what I mean? And right now you already have like a 60% gain from that already.
So that's crazy because I I got my mom to download the VEVE app finally last week or just on Monday, and the first thing she was like she's gonna throw $200 in, and it was like, what do you buy with $200? And so the one thing I suggested was just to throw it into a Marvel Comics 1 common, and so we bought that. It was maybe about 170ish, and it was on Monday.
Yeah.
It was Sunday or Monday, and now in a week it's jumped up to 318, and I bet she's feeling really good about that little investment.
Do you think your mom is constantly checking the markets in the VV markets?
No. I asked her, I was like, have you checked it? She's like, I don't know how. I was like, all right, cool. So she just trusts what I tell her.
That's funny. But like I mentioned, comic books still undervalued. Even the commons one, guys. Like when you think about it, if you're looking at it from an investment standpoint, any of the right now, some of them you could buy like probably like $500 worth of like Spider-Man 14, the Green Goblin. The common one is going for right now for $25. I think, in my opinion, that this is worth at least $100 a piece for this particular edition. The common one is because, like, if you think about it, you know, Green Goblin, you know, we already talked about this in our other videos, how one of the big villains, one of Spider-Man's greatest villains. The rate of return, if you think about it, $25 to $100, that's 5 times. You know, if you put like $500 in this, you could easily 5 times your money. You know, not financial advice, but that's how much the potential for comic books you can make with these, right? Think about it as if you were buying like shit coins, right? Like if you're buying like shit coins, but here in a sense you're buying Spider-Man comic books to flip 5 times, potentially 5 times your money. The secret rare right now for this Spider-Man edition still undervalued. If we see how, I don't know if you noticed, but the most recent drop for Hulk versus the Fantastic Four, I believe, the secret rare this week, about a couple days ago, it was running around maybe $600. Today, I was looking at it it was going up. Right now, it's at I think it's at 1K right now, I believe. Can you believe that? The secret rare edition for that is at 1K. And a couple days ago, this is the one that they just released for Incredible Hulk versus Fantastic Four. and that's like double your money right there. That's 100% return on that, just in a couple of days.
This was the 10K mint, Mr. Fix It Grey Hulk.
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
And then right now floor price,
Yep.
it is no, wait, what are you talking about?
This was a Incredible Hulk 347.
No. This is Fantastic Four edition number 12. It's basically when the Hulk came into, and he's
First
fighting
Hulk with Fantastic Four. Okay.
Exactly, yeah. And even the Gale saw this too. Like he tweeted out how he was buying. Basically, he bought around like 600 or 700 gems, I believe. And when he tweeted that, gems,
like 600 comics or 600 gems.
No, 600 gems for just like I don't know how many he bought, but I know that he purchased one of these secret rare, this edition particularly. So I mean, some of these other secret rare comic books are still undervalued in my opinion. Thanos is running around 500 gems, secret rare, 500 gems. What else? I mean, there's tons of other ones. Let's see what the Spider-Man Dr. Octopus, with the Dr. Octopus, that's already at 1.7k. Let's see. I mean, this is so, people are, like I said, people are sleeping on these.
I think they are, yeah, for sure. And the reason why is because if you go to a comic book store and you try to find any of the comics on the app, man, it's hard. It's hard to find any of these comics in any of these comic stores because their physical counterparts they're not around.
Yeah, they're either, because if you think about it, the physical counterparts, they're either damaged, lost, not accounted for, damaged. I mean, these things, we talked about this too in our previous stream with the Gale. We talked about how like these stories are, these are going to be untold stories if we don't replicate, or if we don't try to bring these or try to preserve them in a way to have generations to hear these kind of stories of our heroes growing up, right? And I feel like that's the significant part of why these digital comic books are way undervalued, because a lot of these comic books right now, you can't find them anywhere. I mean, sure, you could buy like a digital copy, but you can only read it on that website. You can't carry it with you on this app on your phone and then share it with someone or transfer it to someone or own the rights to this particular comic book. That's the huge difference. Like they can authenticate that you own a copy of this that has been released.
Yeah, sure. Have you been trying to collect physicals with your digitals, or what have you been doing?
I have not yet.
Digitals right now.
For now, I just been focused. I want to, but I just haven't had the time to really go out and really search for them. I have been browsing on like eBay and stuff, and looking up like how certain graded ones are, and that's another thing, right? That's another thing with comic books. When they're graded, they're in the particular case, and you don't want to like take them out of the case because you could potentially lose the value of that when it's graded. So what's the point of that? When you have a digital comic book, you can actually read it nonstop, and then the condition of it is still in perfect conditions, digital at least. So
for sure, yeah. Like to be honest, I probably would spend more money on a digital than I would on a physical. Just because, I mean, you don't wear out on any of it. It doesn't wear out. You can take it with you wherever, just being on your phone. You can show people that you have it. Like, there's a lot of things you can do. You're able to flex it. You're able to read it. You're able to use it in AR.
Yeah, soon enough you get to use it as wallpaper in your virtual room, which is kind of badass.
It's in the showroom. Yeah. What do you think
So
what's gonna happen with the posters now that you
right?
have these comics that you can put as wallpapers instead? You don't have to use all the posters you've kind of stocked up
Exactly,
on.
exactly. Looks like we have a comment here. It says all
Yeah.
chat gaming. It says it's funny you mentioned Thanos. He's endgame. So many people know and love Thanos. Hashtag Fortnite skin and the NFT minted half of the mints versus in real life, and they go for around $200. So extremely valued, in my opinion, for sure, brother. Yeah, I totally agree with you. The secret rare right now, I just looked it up, going for 555 gems, I believe. Thanos,
550 for the
the
secret rare.
secret rare. Yeah, I have a ton of the common ones just because they're like $13. I looked up the common ones for Thanos. The raw edition. Basically, raw means that no, it's ungraded. You're just buying it from the store. It goes for roughly around like $75 according to Sleepin Comics, when he posted it in his video, and I even looked it up online too, and it roughly goes around that price as well. Yeah, you have 60 of them. That's crazy. Yeah, man, it's just a matter of time, man. Like, I mean,
Yeah, see,
Thanos. People sleep on Thanos big time. I mean, he's a big dog. How could you sleep on someone the
Thanos
greatest
is
one?
is he the top villain? It's got to be. I believe it's Thanos.
I
gotta look
feel
it up.
like, I mean, I feel like he is, right. Like he wiped up nearly 50% of the whole world in Endgame, and it took like the whole gang to take him down. So yeah, I think he's a pretty well-known villain. So
There was a chart. I'm gonna have to find it. But yeah, I believe Thanos was one of the top villains as far as popularity. So
hmm
for sure, he should be pumped.
oh yeah, it's just right now.
Google's not
People are
helping me.
just right now the market is just kind of looking elsewhere. It's just a matter of time until like new folks come in and then they see like, oh wow, this, when they see the value and they know the value of like Thanos or know the value of any other collectible that is way under, not priced at what it should be, those floors are gonna just rise. So that's why, like,
Yeah,
it's important to get in before, and also understand and know, like, if it looks good to you, yes, buy it. In my opinion, that's what I'm kind of playing this game. As well as, if you know something that's undervalued, that why not,
yeah. For me, because I know it's more of a collect, which you kind of like. So
Yeah.
I don't collect. See me, I mean I have comics, but I don't collect them as much as I do collectibles. I'm more of a collectibles because I like the collectibles. I like messing with the collectibles. To me, the collectibles are more of my thing.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like comics, I pretty much just collect them, but I don't
Yeah.
stack them like I do my collectibles. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. No, for
it's
sure.
not
Like,
like it's not like my thing as far as what I'm stacking. But I'll go in and I'll buy like one or two of each, just because I want to have one in my showroom. I want to show them off. So
yeah.
yeah, it's one of those I'll collect myself. But collectibles are kind of like my thing as far as what I'm currently stacking, just because to me they interest me more. But
Yeah.
yeah, as far as comics, I'm not like a comic guy, so I don't know too much as far as like the details of every comic and every hero within it.
Yeah.
But I'll use every resource that our community provides. Like we have so many great comic gurus in this space, like Sleepin and Comics and Cryptos. Like
Yeah.
they all have their own websites and updates that kind of give you ideas as far as comic rankings. And even with the limited knowledge that I may have on comics, using their resources really helps as far as like price predictions and so many things that you can learn and make very educated predictions and stuff based off of that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm excited because you know, when they released that Spider-Man black suit and made it like a super limited amount release, which I'm
Yeah.
kind of yeah, I get it. Like they definitely want to make it certain comic books scarce. But man, um,
For sure,
can't wait
man.
to
Do your own
can't wait to
research.
see. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. For sure, for sure. And this is me doing. I've done my part in researching how big the comic book community is, and you mentioned that you went to a comic book store yourself, and even then, like big comic book collectors, physical collectors, they're not buying into these digital collectibles yet. You know, and that's how you know it's so
Yeah.
early right now for these digital comic books, because the actual true physical collectors, they're not buying into it yet. You know, and that's a sign that like yeah, right now is a time to possibly accumulate before they all come rushing in.
Yeah, so
And they're gonna
that's gonna, I guess it's gonna be my story for like forever, is going
yeah,
into a comic book store, saying the word NFT and getting kicked out. That's gonna be my
exactly,
story for
yeah,
for some time. But I mean, that just shows that right now the world and these collectors, they're not
yeah,
really they're not really interested in just
not
the
yet,
digital
yeah.
space. You know, they feel like, I mean, he straight up told me that NFTs are hurting the market for physicals, and that, you know, he just didn't want to help me. So
No, I feel like
yeah,
if anything, they're gonna make the physicals even more valuable in a sense,
yeah,
right? Because it's that nostalgic, it's that tangible ability to hold something and physically hold it. Sure, right now, that physical aspect is like scarce, right? It's all things; those things will die and will fade and burn and break apart and stuff like that because they're tangible, right? But as for a digital, there it's like, I don't know, it's a different type of feel. But that's why I feel like the physical part of it will appreciate so much more because of these digital assets are being created to preserve them in a way, you know?
yeah. I feel like, I mean, it's something where you have to get educated on the technology and about this,
Yeah,
because they don't realize it. They, at the same time, I guess he felt threatened that these NFTs and these digitals are, you know, hurting his marketplace of the actual physical copy, because
yeah,
people, he may feel that people are not buying the physicals because they're just going out and getting the digital instead, right? But
yeah,
at the same time, with NFTs, I mean, if you get educated a little more on it, these NFTs are making collectors out of these digital collectors, and they're going out and now they're wanting to find these physicals and buy these physicals because they have a digital copy. Like
yeah.
I want to find like Todd statues with, you know, my my mint numbers. Like that's something I want to do too. I think that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
And
mean,
I've been
it's
going around, I've been looking, like going to comic stores, I've been looking at comics. Like I've never stepped foot in a comic store before,
yeah.
like being on VEVE, and now I've been in like 5 different comic stores already in like a month. This past month, ever since, I mean, for Christmas, you know, I did a lot of Christmas shopping in comic book stores. But yeah, I've never went before until now.
No, I totally agree with you. I mean, if anything, being a digital collector now has made me more inclined to look back and appreciate on like the physical aspect of all this, how it all started, right? Like the history, the nostalgia of what it means to collect something, you know. So here we have another comment here. Yeah, it says, could you imagine trying to be a retail store trying to survive against a juggernaut like Amazon, and then being like, I won't ship my product? They know the value, they should be stacking the digital to resell. Makes no sense. Yeah, exactly, man. I feel like these comic book stores, they should try to adapt, right? Like, and not be so close-minded to this type of technology, because if they are, they're gonna be left behind, and I don't know, they're just gonna miss out
It
on an opportunity of a lifetime.
If I had my own comic book store and I was selling collectibles and comics, and let's say I had certain statues or certain editions, like I probably would get digitals and try to package them in deals at the store or something. Like I feel like, hey, these come with these NFTs for this price. Like you got to innovate and adapt to these changes. You can't
Yeah, you just
stick
can't
to
be
your
so
ways like every time.
exactly. Yeah, because I mean that's how like the internet became so how it flourished, right? Because a lot of people adapt, right? You had a lot of think about like brick and mortars, right? Like a lot of stores didn't want to adapt into like e-commerce and like bring their stores online, and then it took them a while, right? And then they took a hit because all these other stores were making it so convenient for people to purchase things online, and it was just more convenient than driving to a front store and purchase something, right? And also
I love how you use that word convenience. Convenience is a big thing nowadays. Convenience is what everyone is looking for, which is
yeah,
why we have Door Dashes and
Ubers,
Ubers.
yeah,
Like convenience is, and why Amazon took off is because of their 2-day shipping, their Prime 2-day shipping, and
yeah,
just that convenience and speed. Like people look for that, and that's a big thing to point out is convenience,
yeah.
because right now VeVe is convenient as well. Like it's very easy to use and get access to and buy NFTs from. I mean, unless you're
Oh
trying to
yeah,
get it on drop. I mean, in secondary, you get your
yeah.
gems and you buy it.
I
But if
know.
you're trying to get it on drop, it may be a little rougher for you.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I do feel a certain way whenever I don't get a drop, but I'm patient enough to wait in the secondary markets to wait for a dip, or just buy it at a certain price. And then when you think about it, things just for some reason just continue to go up in this VV market, which is a good thing. So we'll see how this all plans out.
Oh, chat gaming, you're killing the chats here. Let's go.
Appreciate the chats, brother.
You guys are really good. Love the VR chat. You should reach out to more OMI/VV YouTubers and collaborate. You get a lot of subs. Just reach out in your comment section. Yeah, for sure. We have a lot of plans and a lot of things in the works here. But I mean, more than just subs, we just really want to provide good, informative content. We don't want to restrict everything to subs or make everything seem like it's about subs or we want subs. I think I've said this before, like for me personally, like I've tried sharing a lot of things to my friends and my family because, I've been involved in crypto for a really long time. It's been like a decade. And this entire time I've tried to get people involved, but really the people I've spoken to were just people that were not willing to, really take it to action, So the fact that I can now just share it on YouTube, and if there's someone like me young me that is like grinding and trying to get information, I feel like if I can provide that information to that person to help them and change their life, or not let them make the same mistakes that I have made, because I've made a ton of mistakes in this marketplace and I've learned a ton from it. If I can stop someone from doing that and help guide them on their path, then that's enough for me. It more than just the subs or anything like that. I just want to be informative and help the community overall.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like same thing for me, right? Like I've always been itching to share this because I'm excited for it, right? So for something like this, and to share it with people in real life, and they're just kind of shrug you off, and you don't have like good conversations about it, or like they just don't want to talk about it. Then I feel like I'm being kind of bottlenecked in a way to like share my knowledge and what I want, what I see, and my innovation, and what I think about what's to come and stuff like that. So that's why we linked up together, right? You and I, CryptoAddict, because we saw like, hey man, why don't we just share on YouTube, and then whoever wants to hear this knowledge, they'll come, and then they'll subscribe, and they'll like our video, leave a comment, etc., and just be a part of this whole kind of journey that we are on right now to share about what's to come for VeVe and stuff. So
for sure, yeah. Not about the subs. You'll be able to help a lot of people, but if they don't see you, yeah, very true. yeah, we want to reach out to as many people as we can, and subs definitely help, engagement definitely helps. um,
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to try to do what we can to provide the quality content, and if people like it, they'll share it, and we'll get around. But
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a process. We'll take it day by day. We'll grind through it. We'll appreciate the grind. It's not like we can go from 0 to 100 overnight. We're gonna grind through it, and I think
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
appreciate the grind a lot more, because when we get to wherever point we may get to, whether it be 1,000 subs or 2,000 subs, or maybe we just get 500 subs, then
Yeah.
we'll be good with it, and we'll appreciate the grind to wherever we get to.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I feel like the way we're growing has been just organically, in a way that's just, I'm fine with it, because, we have actual people that are, wanting to hear our thoughts and then actually supporting us in a sense in our journey. And yeah, I mean, 2022,
We've talked about it,
Yeah, yeah. We talked about how
our growth. Like, we're like, no, like, we're gonna start from zero. We didn't tell our friends about our channel or anything. We're like, we're just gonna start from zero. We're not gonna try to pay for any ads or subs or anything. We're just gonna come on, and we're just gonna throw content out and see where it
yeah,
goes. We're gonna see how we do, how we like it, how many people actually sub, and how many people actually like our content, and we're just gonna ride off of that. So we haven't told any of our like real life friends to sub to us or anything like that. It's just been organically growing, and we're good with that.
yeah, and that's how I want it. I wouldn't want it to have it any other way, right? Like, because it's a learning, right? We're learning how to make it more engaging, bring out certain content that is that's valuable, right? And then, like, of course, the production and stuff, like incorporating VR, right? We're just trying to be in tuned and make this transition into the metaverse, because technically it's here already. If you think about it, right? We're already in the metaverse. We're just trying to embrace that that whole society. This whole thing. That's so yeah.
He says, "Hey, Cal, I'll be quiet now." No, you're good, man. Keep talking. We love to chit chat. If anybody wants to leave a comment, keep them coming. It gives us things to talk
Yeah.
about.
If you guys have any questions, it looks like we have a couple of viewers here, but if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask, and then we'll discuss, and keep talking for let's see how long we have here. I see we have about another 30 more minutes, I suppose, in this live stream before we sign off.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you brought up metaverse, and I've watched it a lot. I've been watching even a lot of Ready Player One again, and just I like rewatching it just to pick up on new things. And I mean, there's
Did
so
you watch
much.
it recently?
I watched it again like 2 days ago.
Nice.
Yeah,
What do you think?
and
What do
I-
you think?
Man, like every time you watch it, you pick up on something different. Like,
Yeah.
I know he's like even driving the DeLorean, and we talk about like the tokens and the coins, like the OMI token, and if you watch it, in the beginning, like, they're fighting. Every time someone dies, they're collecting tokens, and when he's racing, he's collecting tokens, and he's filling up his gas tank with it. So what if you're driving your DeLorean and your car is around in the metaverse, right? And like, do you have to refill the gas tank? Like, if you do, like, are you using the tokens, like the OMI tokens, to fill up the gas tank as well? Like, is that a utility that's used as currency actually inside the metaverse? Because that would be interesting too, because we're gonna have cars, right? And then they're making it drivable. So with cars being drivable, are you now throwing in these tokens into like, you're paying for gas, right? You're paying for gas for your car, but you're paying it in an OMI token. So maybe that's the thing too, and that'll be a way to burn even more OMI tokens from circulation.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be exciting to see how they kind of construct this whole VEVE verse. Even with Disney announcing that they're going to create their own metaverse and stuff, I wonder how it's all going to kind of come together, right? Is it going to be like different types of worlds where you can kind of go and interact with different verses? So unless they all become as one, right? I don't know. I just want to see how this all pans out soon, because and also it made me think about how if Disney is possibly creating this whole metaverse and then formulating it all, the gaming side, what if this is just kind of speculation, me thinking out of my mind or whatever the other day, but what if Nintendo is gonna be the big dog that comes in and creates the gamification of this whole system? That's going to be huge, right? That's going to be the trinity, right? You have VEVE creating all the digital collectibles, and then you have Disney formulating all these interactive type metaverses experiences, right? Because let's think about it. They're the big, they create all these theme parks. They understand how this all works in the physical world. So how hard would it be for them to adapt and to do it in a digital way for people to have this kind of experience, because they know what it means to create great experiences for people, So I think they're gonna take care of the metaverse, and then VEVE is gonna handle all the other infrastructures as well as creating the digital collectibles, etc. And then Nintendo, I feel like they're maybe the next key player in this whole gaming industry of making this whole thing in a sense for the metaverse. What do you think?
I really think that I think Disney, Meta, VEVE, I think they're all going to have their own metaverse. If you notice, like even in Ready Player One, as they were kind of porting through, you could see like all the metaverses. They had like Minecraft, and they were going through like different planets. I think it'll be like that. I think you can travel amongst different, I mean, of course that's going to be when everything's interoperable, but I do see them traveling amongst different metaverses and doing different things on each metaverse. Like maybe there's a certain metaverse where you're playing a certain game, and then you're going to another metaverse where you're just kind of chilling around and driving, or just another metaverse, just go out and just chat. Like there could be multiple metaverses, and just that interoperability amongst them is I think going to be a big key thing. But yeah, I think that, I mean, I don't doubt that Nintendo, because Nintendo has, like we've said multiple times, have already been using the idea of NFTs through like, since their Game Boys with, trading Pokemons, and then, getting amiibos. Like that stuff is already interoperable amongst their own games. You can use your amiibos on like Mario Party and then put it in like, Super Smash Bros. That stuff is already stuff that they're using, and they've already made it interoperable. So that being something that you can have in the metaverse, I think definitely is something that they've already considered.
Yeah, it's just they just kind of been working in the background and been kind of quiet in this whole talks of like NFTs and gaming, play to earn, etc. So I feel like they're just sitting back and just probably working, right? Like they're doing more definitely. Action versus actually like talking it all up, right, to create hype and stuff. Because once
I think that's good. that they're doing stuff in the background.
Yeah, because it's gonna be all all these other like certain gaming platforms. They're all talk sometimes. Like I feel like they create all these roadmaps and be like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, etc. We're gonna do that, but you don't see it really happening. So I feel like Nintendo's in the background right now working and creating the future of gaming on in the metaverse and stuff. So I mean, I don't know.
If you're looking at like how VEVE operated, they've worked in the shadows for the longest time. They didn't hop onto the scene with this timeline that they're going to now start doing this, and then start trying to go out and get the IPs and go out and try to do this. They got all of that pre-set up ahead of time. Then they they launched their app, and they had the whole roadmap, and they had a working app already. Nowadays, you see like there's a ton of these NFT projects everywhere, and what they're doing is they're writing a great white paper. They're following a lot of other NFT projects with their websites.
It's all talk.
Definitely, they're trying to get you in with these big words that they're going to be a DAO, and they're going to provide token utilities and some type of game that they're going to make, right? But there's really, you're banking on their roadmap, that they can actually execute this roadmap, that they can actually create a game, that they can actually
Yeah. Yeah.
make this utility token actually useful. But they have no history
Nope.
of being able to do that. They have no record of like some any type of big development team that can actually
Yeah.
create a game. So
Yeah.
you're just banking on what they're saying, right?
Yeah.
Versus someone like VEVE that has done all of that in the shadows, and now they're out here releasing an actual product
Right.
that's actually
Right.
working. And
Right.
you see how they've come in and they've just exploded. They've grown so much beyond what they thought they
Yeah.
could grow this year
Yeah.
alone, just because they actually have a working product already. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Because
all the
like
hard work has been
V,
done ahead of time.
like you mentioned, like VV has not marketed themselves in a way to, they didn't really like try to get their names out there like big time, right? Is I feel like it's been kind of word of mouth, and when you think about it, I was talking to a friend about yesterday. I was talking about, hey, because he was into NFTs as well, but he's mostly on like OpenSea and stuff or Solana, and we were talking about NFTs, and he was talking about how yeah, he was trying to get into this project called the Doodles NFT or something like that, and I was like,
Doodles, yeah.
bro, have you heard of VEVE? And then like he didn't know nothing about VEVE, and he didn't know that VEVE had IPs. He didn't know that they didn't have all these things in their background, right? Like under it's just crazy because VEVE in the future, NFTs that have IPs are going to be huge, right? Because all of these other NFTs that are like profile pictures, they're just all going to die out because people are going to see like, oh, this is just nothing else other than just like a profile picture, I suppose. And it has no utility, and you can't really do much with it, and therefore they're going to look to these nostalgic brands, these brands that we grew up with, and these brands that have clear use case and stuff like that, and that's going to be VEVE or any kind of other platform that can secure well-known IPs. So
There's KT leaving a comment saying, "Love hearing your perspectives. Really appreciate it, KT. We try to maybe throw in a little different twist. I mean, like I said, we've been in the crypto space for a long time, so we maybe have maybe a different point of view on a few things. So glad you're appreciating it."
Yeah. So let us know. Looks like we got some more viewers at hand. So if you guys have any questions, we'll have a couple of more minutes until we sign off. But shoot us some questions so that way we can kind of have a brief discussion or so, or anything you guys have about like whether it be the OMI token or about VEVE collectibles, etc. So
sure. Yeah, so like you were talking about on these projects like Doodles, I mean, Doodles is, I think they've been doing great.
Yeah.
But a lot of these projects, they're really based off of community, right? Because without community, there's not going to be any demand for your product. So you really need that community to help push your project. And the strongest thing about VEVE is their community. That's the one thing that I've seen so much about VEVE, and why I know VEVE is going to be so successful is because there is no other community on any NFT project like the VEVE community. The VEVE community is the best community I've seen by far. There's a lot of great communities, but VEVE is by far the best because all of these other NFT communities, I mean, really what you're seeing is everyone is shilling their own projects because they're trying to pump their own bags, right? But in VEVE, there's so many different IPs. Yes, there's gonna be people trying to pump like their Todds or their, Jokers or Wonder Woman or Supermans. But at the same time, everyone is shilling VEVE as a community because VEVE is the whole platform. Like there's no one out there that's shilling OpenSea, right?
Yeah.
They're out there shilling the projects that are on OpenSea. But over here, everyone's like VEVE this, VEVE that. Like we're talking about VEVE because VEVE is larger. Like to me, VEVE is larger than these other platforms actually because they have so many of these IPs and everything's selling out so quick. Don't get me wrong, OpenSea used to be like that. Everything on OpenSea used to sell out. But nowadays, these projects are a lot harder to sell because there's not new people coming into the marketplace. It's the same
Yeah.
people buying in just different projects, and they're trying to flip because it is a game. You know, they're trying to flip, and everyone's trying to make profit. But
Hmm.
now, when it comes to actual community, everyone that's
Yeah.
on OpenSea or on the Ethereum blockchain, they're split amongst communities, right? We're like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, we rep Board 8, but we also have some Clone X, we have some creatures, or whatever. They're in different multiple projects. So when someone's like, hey, what projects are you guys involved in, you see a spam of all these projects they're in, right? Because they're all
Yeah.
shilling their own bags. But here in
Yeah.
the VV community, everyone's like VV, VV, VV. They're not saying like Todd, 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 or Superman, Superman, Superman. They're saying VV because VV overall is a huge community, and I think that's what separates us from just everyone else, is that VV is more than that. VV is something special, and I think we're all super lucky to be involved in this.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I still believe we're still early in the stage, even though VV's been around for about maybe a couple years now, I suppose. But what's to come this year, when they announce like other big name IPs, Pokemon, whether it be Dragon Ball Z or any kind of other big name, well known brand, it's just only going to draw people in, and then like the naysayers, they're going to start buying in, and yeah, it's just going to be awesome growth right now, because you have big name folks backing up in this company, right? You have David Yu, you have Daniel Coops, and then you have Al Khan, right? The main guy who's doing licensures, and you have Jeremy, right? Padawan or something like that. Padawar. Yeah. And then you have go ahead.
Yeah, I'd say he's not actually like with the VV team. He's more of a big Omi holder and a supporter of,
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, people, big
VV.
name, not only people who are in the VV, but as well as supporting it, right? Like, you have big names talking about it, right? So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, yeah, it may seem kind of I don't know. It's just there's so much potential to be
For sure, yeah.
in VV. So
and more than just a team, because team is one thing, right? You could have a team of a lot of people, because you have celebrities that are trying to get their own NFT projects and stuff like that out, right?
Yeah.
We have like Curry, Shaq, everyone's throwing NFTs out, but more than just throwing NFTs with like a celeb or some team. The difference is you actually have to execute on your plan and your roadmap, execute on what you're actually trying to do, right?
Yeah.
So VV, I mean, they may be missing deadlines, but to me, that's normal. Me being in technology industry, that's normal, right?
Yeah.
But they're still going through and they're executing. They're executing on what they're set out to do and what they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
And I think that is what's separating them from other projects, is they're actually able to execute what they want.
Right.
And to me, that's the next level versus everyone else.
Yeah, and the reason for these delays is totally understandable, right? Because they're making sure that the security infrastructure of this whole experience for everyone is like secure and safe, where people aren't going to be losing their gems or losing their valuable collectibles, as well as making the whole experience and transactions kind of flawless in a way, so that way people aren't losing out on opportunities.
For sure, yeah.
So I think these delays, yes, they can be a little annoying, but at the same time, they're trying to be as diligent as they can in ensuring that they're not going to screw over their customers, or screw over us, right, the users. They're doing it for us, so we just have to kind of look from that standpoint.
For sure. KT, leaving there a comment. Keep at it. You will find your viewers. Really appreciate it, KT.
Appreciate it, KT. All right. Is there anything
I did
else?
throw out. Oh,
Go ahead.
I was going to mention that I did throw out, like, before. which I thought was interesting because I was really into. I know a lot of people are using, if you're not familiar with like .eth addresses or whatnot.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, for me, like I've been more inclined to using like unstoppable domains because they actually allow you to connect multiple wallet addresses, right? And not just that, but I think one thing that would be interesting would be the opportunity to actually have your unstoppable domain address, your actual domain,
yeah,
actually linked to like a location in the metaverse. So if you wanted to link it in the VeVeverse to go to maybe your home, then you can set your coordinates to your home as where that address will take you, and they'll take you to that location, right? And then depending on which metaverse, because right now you're able to link it to like your ETH wallet or Polygon or whatever wallet you want, right? You can set an address to it. The difference is when you have your metaverses, like you'll have the VeVeverse or Sandbox or Decentraland or whatnot, right? You can set a coordinate where you want this to go based off of the game. So let's say you're joining a game, you'll type in your address like WAGMI.crypto or something, and it's going to take you over to your place in the VeVeverse, your coordinates in the VeVeverse. So I think that's one thing to look out for, and I think that's going to be something that, you know, I hope VeVe implements it or work with something as far as unstoppable domains, because I think that'll be really useful. Instead of you can actually put a location like, hey, how do I get to your house? You just put the address on there like wagme.crypto, and you'll type that in and they'll get to your VeVe house or whatnot. I think that'll be pretty cool. And people will be throwing out like, hey, we're having a club party at the club, and it's going to be at like club wagme.crypto or something, and you just put in that address and you show up at the place, you know.
Oh, for sure.
I think that'll be a lot easier.
That'd be kind of dope. Yeah, big time.
Let's see, we
have a question here.
Meet the homies.
Meet them. Oh,
that's going to be a surprise.
Yeah, tune in. I think we may have some this upcoming week. So you guys, if you can, like, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell so that way are notified when we release that video. I feel like we'll probably go live with our
next guest. We may go live with. Yes.
So we'll definitely send out a tweet. And to make sure everyone has the link and share that as well. But yeah, we have a ton. We have a couple of people lined up for these upcoming weeks. So definitely excited to meet with them and just kind of bounce ideas.
Definitely trying to meet the homies. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, not just anybody. I mean, you don't have to be a YouTuber or anybody. I mean, if you're in the VV fam, if you're an Omi homie, reach out to us. We'll bring you on. Like, we want to meet all the homies. You know. All the Omi homies. We don't care if you have 10,000 subs, 100,000 subs. Like, if you're an Omi homie, if you're a VV fam, like, join us and talk with us. You know, we're down for everybody. I think everyone has a story, and let's all hear it, man. We're the best community out there, and I think we have great things to talk about. Everyone has something great to talk about.
Yeah, we just want to like our first interview with Gail. You know, just kind of hearing his story and how he came to the VV space was, you know, super encouraging. And to see, you know, he's a humble guy, right? Like, and he's a pretty down to earth dude. And he started, you know, from the ground. You know, basically he started in like crypto and just kind of got wrecked, and then didn't give up, and then came across VV, and now he's just like sharing content. Like, his journey, his story is just truly inspiring, right? Like, just to hear. So that's why we're kind of doing this series of meet the homies, because we just want to hear everyone's story and how they came across VV.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so
it could be anybody. Just hit us up on Twitter or whatnot, and yeah, man, we'll schedule times for you to get on. We don't care who it is. We'll talk to anybody.
Yeah, for sure. But is there anything else we need to address? Let's see. Oh, we have one more comment. Those delays in all industries due to people working from home because of COVID. Oh, there's delays.
Sure. There's delays, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. COVID has, you know, affected a lot of things.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, if anything, it made things kind of, you know, people adapted, right? Like, meeting online or you know, communicating in the space. And now, if you think about it, being able to share your collectibles with people, strangers online, rather than, if you think about it, like artwork, you would only be able to share if someone comes to your house. So in a way, kind of COVID opened that kind of atmosphere of being able to share your showroom and your collectibles, and being able to show off your like artwork and your whatever you have.
Like there's going to be things that people feel are negatives, but like to me, you got to see the positives and everything. And COVID, I think COVID sped up the metaverse. I think COVID sped up people adapting to the digital space and understanding it. And I think that's a great thing, because a lot of people that didn't expect to use, like my mom, for example, she doesn't know how to use a computer. She doesn't know how to use anything technology. She doesn't know how to use her phone really. And she's had to learn how to use Zoom just to talk to her friends. And I think that kind of mass adoption is really helping people kind of understand this metaverse a little more. And, you know, maybe understand our avatars a little more.
Like from my experience, like during the whole pandemic, like the beginning of it, like usually in real life, I would, you know, be able to go hang out with friends, you know, whether it be play sports, go to the gym, work out, etc., or just hang out. Right?
I do miss going to the gym for sure.
And then now, during the pandemic, like it encouraged me to like start playing games again, right? Like, and socialize in that kind of aspect virtually, and it was awesome. And still to this day, I still play games online with my friends, and that just kind of, you know, reignited that type of, I guess, opportunity to hang out with friends, whether it be far from home, etc., or whether they live across state or across the city or across state, etc. It was just a different way to connect, and I think that's the positive that I saw out of during this whole pandemic. Just being able to reconnect in a different way versus in person or in real life. So I mean, hopefully we do get back to those normal ways as well, right? Like, but in a sense, now we have a new way incorporated into our daily lives to communicate with people that we care about online. So I think it's kind of cool. And that's what the metaverse is now, right?
Yeah, really excited for what's to come. And I think we've been on beyond an hour here. So any last question? I think we'll tune out in maybe about a couple minutes if there's any last questions or anything you guys want to add. So I went out. I went to the store today, and I was actually very tempted to get me an Oculus. And, you know, I've always held back from buying one because like I don't want to get something that's super light. Like for me, I'm very reactive to things. Like I play Counter-Strike and a lot of first-person shooter games, right? So I really feel the delay, like when I'm actually like moving around. And I always felt like putting on these VR goggles, like my perception is my depth perception and everything, like I can't really use my peripherals as well. And, you know, moving my head, like I move like super quick. I feel like that delay is gonna like really give me some type of motion sickness. And I just wasn't ready to use it because I felt like I wanted the technology to be where I wanted it to be. That way, you know, I'd have a better experience when I dove into it. But I mean, it seems like there's so many people having so much fun with their Oculus and their VR stuff that I was like, man, I think I need to just get one and just go experience it. Maybe not do anything hardcore with it, but, you know, just, you know, go around, travel around and see what's up.
I've only used it a couple of times or so, and it was pretty cool. I still think that there's more, of course, there's still more room, for it to improve. Like you mentioned, like the lag and stuff like that with the Oculus. So I've been kind of hesitant in like really investing in one for the metaverse. So
but for now, gaming, I mean, man, I'm competitive.
So, but what do you think about this week? I think hopefully, I think there's some. I don't know if VEVE's gonna drop any other drops this week or so. I feel like they've just been releasing certain ones here and there, but I think there's gonna be a big one soon. I feel like, other than the Mermacorns, I mean,
From what they've said, aside from the Spider-Man drop that's coming, what they said was they're gonna drop like a Marvel female, supposedly. So we'll see who that potentially could be.
like a collectible or a comic
collectible,
book?
yeah. So maybe
Okay.
potentially like maybe Captain Marvel. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, because their most recent Marvel, what was it Storm? Was that their most recent female collectible?
Most recent collectible.
Was
You
it
mean
Storm?
female collectible or
Yeah,
just
female,
like
sorry.
a Marvel?
No, female collectible.
The last female, and we're talking
this?
Marvel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like
believe the
I feel like it
last-
was Storm.
Well, I guess Storm would count,
Yeah.
even though she was like the first X-Men drop.
Yeah.
Because I think we went through like December and it was pretty much it was Deadpool, Groot. Yeah, I don't think there's been a female since
Yeah.
Storm. So Storm may have been the last female. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they did release those female DC characters.
Was that
Otherwise,
before or after Storm?
uh,
Like Wonder Woman, she was before or after Storm.
I feel like she was after, but I could be wrong. So
See,
Storm was
Storm was on November 20th.
yeah.
When
then
was
The DC artist Alley was released on. Here I have it.
December 4th. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, the last
it was-
ones
yeah.
was going to be the Wonder Woman DC Artist Alley series.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Cool.
yeah, maybe another
It's been a
female.
while.
It'll be exciting.
Yeah, I love the collectibles, so I like collecting collectibles. I mean, maybe it's not just a female or male. Maybe it's a Pokemon. I don't know. Still dreaming.
Yeah. All right. Well, that just kind of wraps up our first live session. We appreciate all the viewers that just kind of came
First
in and just
ever.
yeah, appreciate you guys all the viewers here in the comments. All you guys, appreciate y'all so much. We enjoy this, just talking with you guys, sharing knowledge, and just bouncing ideas about VEVE, and just excited to see where it takes us all. So, of course, before we sign off, subscribe to our channel, like this video, and if you missed out, feel free to watch it over again from the beginning, because we did talk about some big things about why the floor prices are pumping in VEVE on certain collectibles, as well as comic books being slept on. So be sure to check that out, because I think there's this opportunity there to be had in the comic book.
Yeah.
Of
And
course,
maybe
not
we'll
financial
do more of
advice,
these live
but
sessions too.
yeah, we'll definitely. I thought it was a good turnout. What do you think for the first time?
Yeah, technically, I mean, I was like, if no one comes in and talks, we'll just talk to ourselves. It's whatever, you know.
Yeah, it's all good. I'm not tripping. So, all right, and that kind of wraps it up. Anything else we need to address before we end this session?
No, hopefully we have some surprises this week for you guys. So yeah, stay tuned, guys.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely do another meet the homies episode. So stay tuned, of course, and we appreciate y'all so much, man. And like we always mention,
like we always say, we're all gonna
make it. Peace out, y'all.
See you later, guys.